So hi Sandeep, it's nice to have you here. First of all, congratulations on your admit.
Thank you, ma'am. Nice to meet you too. I come from a normal engineering background. So I completed my graduation in electronics and communication from NIT Surat. Post that, I worked with Oracle Finance in their banking product development team, OBP team, for close to 20 months. Then I moved on to ZS Associates, where I wanted to pursue my interest in analytics. Then I supported one of their major pharmaceutical clients there. Then worked there for close to 2 years, worked immensely in the healthcare domain. Then moving forward, then I got a offer from Novartis, then shifted to Novartis, where I was providing analytical support to the launch division, basically which supports the launch products for Novartis, doing analytical support to help enable a smooth launch for these products in the market. So this is majorly the work, my profile that I had.
Why did you choose a one-year MBA program in India?
There are two parts to the answer to the question. So first thing is, I wanted to stay in India. Never had thought about pursuing my higher studies from abroad. That is one thing. So wanted to pursue my higher studies from India. Secondly, I had close to 5 years of experience when I started applying for the MBA program. So I thought it was best suited for me to look out for a 1 year MBA as compared to the 2 years MBA. Apart from that, the cohort size, like let's say if you go to a 2 year MBA, the peer-to-peer learning experience that you get would be restricted. Whereas in a 1 year MBA, you get people with close to 7 or 8 years of experience on an average in that cohort. So the peer-to-peer learning experience that you get in a 1 year MBA as compared to a 2 years MBA was the reason I chose the 1 year MBA over the 2 years.
You chose to write the GRE. So did you at all compare the GRE and the GMAT and then chose the GRE, or was it the first choice, and how did you prepare for it?
I had given GMAT once 2 years prior to when I gave my GRE. With 6 months of preparation, I had scored somewhere around 690. So then during the lockdown, when I was just researching on the deadlines for ISB before I start applying. So I came to know that the deadline was in 2 months. Having prepared for GMAT, I didn't want to go through the same route again. So I thought, let's give it a shot with the GRE, given that the quant side of GRE is little bit easier as compared to the GMAT. And you just need to build up on your vocabulary as compared to the grammar things that you need to work on for your GMAT. So I started preparing for GRE. So I spent around close to 4 weeks majorly working on the vocabulary. The only way for you to prepare for quant is to, like, the questions are easy. So the one thing that you need to pick up in a quant while writing GRE is the speed. The more you solve questions or basically test papers, that would help you pick up the speed to answer your GRE quant section. So that is one thing I did. I took many mock tests or the sectional tests that you get for online various portals. For quant, I took the sectional text and the sample papers. And English is basically trying to build up your vocab and try to keep on revising it on a daily basis.
Any specific materials or resources that you would suggest? Did you take up any assistance on the preparation or do it yourself? And what books did you refer to?
I followed the official guide initially, and then I started following the online materials. Apart from that, I took a few online tests from the official guide. I took the extra tests. So the official tests that you get from the GRE sites are the most helpful to analyze your scores, because those are proctored and they give you the true test feeling. So that is one thing that I took. Even the extra tests that are offered, so I gave those. Apart from that, I took some online courses from Manhattan and everything, not the entire series, just a couple of tests to understand where I stand given a higher standard of the question. Just to get a feel of the higher standard set of questions, I just took a couple of tests of Manhattan.
Going forward to the MBA applications, so what was the thought process behind school selection? We have discussed it briefly in case you want to expand on it, and then going forward on the application preparation.
As far as my college selection, given that I was preferring the 1 year MBA and I wanted to pursue it from one college. So basically I was restricted by the ABC and Lucknow and then by the ISB colleges. And given that I had given my GRE over GMAT, so I couldn't apply to the IIMC program. So it was left for IIMA, B and ISB, given that they accept the GRE scores. So these were the schools that I decided upon to apply. These were the schools that I had shortlisted and the reasons for them.
What do you think are the main, points behind preparing a strong application? So when you are looking at the application, what are the steps that one needs to take care of, and how do you prepare a strong application?
One thing while preparing your application is basically trying to concise your full work experience that you have around close to 5 years in a word limit of close to 200 to 300 words. So that's the word limit that you get in any essay, or it is basically the essay you need to build up your work experience in terms of any quality that you exhibit. Let's say you exhibit a team building capabilities, but how do you link that team building capabilities to bring in your work experience that you have had over the period of 5 years, and how it helped you deliver the projects or better perform in your work. These are the things that they look out in your applications. Having a end-to-end knowledge of the work that you're doing, how the work comes in, how do you put in your efforts to analyze to do that work, and how exactly the work is consumed by the end consumer. So these are the three main things that the professors or the institute looks out in every candidate while they're analyzing the essay. So that is the main thing that needs to be kept in mind.
Right. And how early did you start with the application preparation?
I was just looking through online browsing through Quora specifically. Then I read about GOALisB. So that's when I reached out to you, ma'am. And then we started working together on our application process. I think we started off close to 3 months before the deadline for the applications. So given that September was the deadline, we started working on our applications from around June.
Right. So that was a
June end or
sufficient
mid of June.
sufficient
Yeah.
time to get the stories together. If you would have started slightly later on, you would have cut short on that particular time. Right.
Yes.
So how was the interview experience? How did you prepare for the interview, and what would you suggest for the preparation?
I sort of prepared the normal questions: why MBA, why a 1 year program over the 2 year program, and then one was what quality do you bring into the batch and everything. So these were the some of the regular questions, and these were the things that I prepared once. Apart from that, I am a had an elocution topic. So basically, I read through some of the major hot topics, hot news topics, like the cryptocurrencies, the environment policies of the government and everything. So these were some of the things that I just glanced through. So as I went there, so everything that turned out was unexpected. I was never asked on these questions. So it initially my interview was to be scheduled at the 3 hours wait time was little bit. It took a time because you see many people going in, going out, and you are just waiting there. So initially it started off with my salary that I earn in my latest company, and why is the company paying you so much? That was the thing. And then it moved towards one of my project that I had worked upon. Once you're working in a pharma company, you don't disclose of the drugs that you basically work on or you support on. Post that, there was a few discussions regarding the political scenario of the country. So they put forth their views and I put forth my views. Next, there was a discussion regarding my second hobby of cooking. They asked what all new recipes do you have you tried out during the lockdown? And then they got down to the specific ingredients that you used in that recipe. Like, why did you choose this over this? They were trying to test you out whether you have worked before choosing any ingredients, or these were the things. So I prepared for something else. I got down to the interview with something else. It was well handled. Then post that, there was a few questioning regarding uh, off the track topic, like do you think insurance drug price control of the drugs is necessary in India? But I am not sure whether this was an extempore topic or something, because there was as such no extempore, because you need to pick up a chit in the interview for the extempore topic. So we had a discussion regarding this. So they were aligned on most of the points that I put forward, but they even put forth a couple of their point of views, so which I refuted. So the major thing in any discussion is basically to take a firm stand and stick to it, because they are experts in this field and they'll try to move you here and there. They just check whether you are sticking to that stand or not. Trying to reasonably, with reasons and with strong reasons, sticking to your stand would help, is the best way to prepare to address these questions over there. They asked us if you had any doubts regarding their program. They randomly said, why are you asking these questions if you're not getting through the interview or not joining the program? Let's see once you get in. They were trying to chill the mode, and then that was the end of the interview.
There is a lot of discussion whenever somebody gets an interview call from IIM Bangalore or IIM Ahmedabad. They start reading up on the latest history. So, what is your perspective on that? How much of that is required, and in what do you say? Perspective again is the right word over here, because history is like very vast. So, what exactly is the perspective that we are looking at when we are trying to approach an IIM interview?
The faculty that or the professors who take the interview are basically looking at is how aware are you about the course and what exactly the course offers to you, and what do you want to take out of the course that is being offered. So there's a higher weightage regarding the second part, where they want to see what exactly you want to take out from the course that they're offering to you. So for you to better understand or fine tune what exactly you want out of this course, it is for you to go through the course structure, understand the course structures, the alums, and basically what is the idea behind the institute launching this program. So understanding that would help you fine tune what exactly you want to get out of this course, because that's the main thing that the faculty grills you upon or wants to understand better from you. For this, it's better to go through the websites, understand their course structures, understand a few subjects that they teach, about the faculty that they teach, or what are their publications, or let's say every institute have their own lecture series. Who are their guest speakers that they're inviting for their guest lectures. I was interested towards the healthcare sector, so I looked at their LinkedIn pages and understood who are the healthcare speakers that are called upon. Like let's say I'm Ahmedabad that called the head of Sanofi for a guest lecture. These are the things that you need to look upon, and then build up. Use those to answer your questions. Like let's say I wanted to understand better about the healthcare, so that's where you form your answers basically. So I mentioned that given these guest lectures from Sanofi, he was the head of strategy. You can kind of refine your knowledge and build up on your strategy skills in the healthcare sector. So these are the things that the faculty look upon or expect you to work before you give an interview.
Summarizing the whole past 7-8 months and the way you have approached, so what would be the tips and strategies starting from GRE preparation that you would like to suggest the people who are applying to the one-year MBA programs?
For people who are applying to the one-year program, it's basically get done with your GRE or GMAT score first. Get it done. So it might take some time for you to get it done, but get it done so that you have a reasonably good score of your GRE and your GMAT. Given that majorly they are working professionals, so try to give as many mocks as possible, because that would help you build up speed and it would also give you an idea of the knowledge. Once you get done with your GRE and your GMAT score, just look at which schools that you want to apply. Finalize your schools or shortlist your schools based on doing your own research. What exactly are you looking out for? Post that, start working on your essays, because there are various iterations that need to undergo. Like in one of the essays, I had close to 12 or 15 iterations that we had done together on one particular essay. Give yourself at least 2 to 2.5 months to work on your essays. So that is the time frame that you need to keep in mind, because there are lots of back and forth that happens in your essay. Like the initial draft that you do and the final draft that brings out all your work experience with some of the key takeaways would take time. So it is always better to start off early and keep refining your essays. Research yourself on the college, the courses, the professors. For the IIMB interviews, it was fully a technical interviews. So having a end-to-end knowledge of the work that you're doing, they specifically told like split the work that you did into how the question came. What did you work on that question? What was your inputs based on the knowledge that you had? How did you finalize the summaries, and how exactly was it used by the end stakeholders? So these are the things that they specifically mentioned on how your work is being in these specific parts. Apart from that, there were a few technical questions regarding the clinical trials and everything, the latest trends in your work domain. So these are the things that they look out for. Reading about these things would help you answer the interview better.
Thank you so much.